Okay, so you want to put a muzzle flash in a clip with a darker environment using After Effects. This is the video that you're looking for. Let's get into it. So here in After Effects, I've got my clip, no muzzle flash, and then I've got my muzzle flash here. So, and actually whenever you import your muzzle flash, it's gonna look like probably like a black box like this. So the first thing you do is click your muzzle flash, go to the blending options and choose screen down here. Changing that to screen basically gets rid of that dark background. And the next step is to go scrub in your video, find where that gunshot is. I'm going to zoom in my timeline a little bit. Find that first frame where that wrist goes up. That's where our muzzle flash is going to be. Next step here is to line up our muzzle flash. This muzzle flash I have, it's a little bit weird. It has kind of this white thing in the beginning of it. I don't really like that. So I'm just going to chop out those first two frames just like that. So now we've got our muzzle flash lined up. The second step here is to, or the next step, I don't know what step I'm on. You want to change the anchor point of your muzzle flash. So if we go into the muzzle flash, go to the anchor point, that is this little symbol in the middle. And what we want to do is adjust that so that it is at the base of the muzzle flash like this. What that does is it allows the rotation and scale to be from that point. So now when I rotate it, it's going to rotate from that point, and it also scales. And this just makes it a lot easier when you have it at the gun. It'll stay there and it'll make it easier to adjust it. So now we just want to line this muzzle flash up with the tip of our gun. Change the rotation and scale to your liking. Well, obviously you're gonna want the rotation to be like flush with the angle of the gun, how your actor or whoever it is holding it. And the scale, it doesn't matter. Some people like to do big muzzle flashes, some people like smaller. I usually like mine about that big. Now we've got our muzzle flash in. It looks fine, except it doesn't look fine. So the issue here is this is in a very dark environment. I just did a quick color grade on this, but if this was a real gun and it was really shot in this environment, there would be light reflecting back onto the shooter, and there would be light projected onto the victim here. So we need to fix that. There was a video on YouTube that I saw that explained this really well. I'm kind of just condensing it into a real quick, easy tutorial. So I will link that video in the description because that guy did a really good job of explaining it. My goal here is just make this a quick, fast tutorial. What you want to do is go down to just your base shot without the muzzle flash, duplicate it, and turn the exposure up on that shot. So I've duplicated it, and we're going to turn up the exposure, let's say about here, and then you want to change the temperature. You want to change the temperature or the tint, just make it a lot warmer of a shot. And the goal here is to match. You want to match kind of the color of the muzzle flash, make the exposure, the temperature, and the tint match that. So you see by adjusting the tint here, it's making it a little bit redder, and the temperature is a little bit more orange. And then what you want to do is you want to mask this layer. So you'll go up here with your pen tool and just kind of the areas that you think the light might be hitting on whoever is shooting the gun. We'll do that first. So his hand is going to be lit up a little bit, parts of his face, and parts of his chest, I think. Basically here what you want to do is just make as many masks as you think where that light is just going to be hitting your actor, and just make as many masks as you want until it feels realistic. And then we'll also go over here to the victim. There's going to be some light coming onto his chest here, kind of where he's getting hit. Maybe a little bit of light on his face even. The level of detail you want to go here is up to you, but essentially that's what you want to do, is just, and I may stop here just for the sake of the tutorial. Oh, one thing you do want to do is make sure you feather make sure you feather the mask. So if you go down here into your duplicated shot, masks, and then each mask has a feather option. In fact, if I could just select all of these, press F, it's gonna open the feather. You can adjust them all at once. Do your feather until that's looking decent. Let's go ahead and select the other clip, and there we go. So now as you can see, we've got some light being projected onto the actor here, onto his shirt where he's getting shot, and then onto the shooter, onto his, there's some light on his hand, on his chest here, on his face. The light may not be quite intense enough, so what I'm going to do now is I can just turn the exposure up, and as you see, when I turn this exposure up, even after I've made the masks, they're still getting adjusted. So I'm going to turn that up maybe to 2. I want to make it a little bit warmer and with the tint. And you can go about color grading this however you want. The way I'm doing it just is a quick, easy, simple way if it's to get this done. So let's see how that looks now. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Once you're done with your masking and all that, you want to make sure that you go to edit and then split the duplicated layer, and as soon as that muzzle flash is off the screen, so should the light reflecting back onto your actors. So most of the time it's only going to be about 1 frame, maybe 2. You only want that light bouncing for just that little amount of time there. So now we'll watch the whole thing. I like how that looks. And when it's only 1 frame, you got to remember, even in your eyes, if you think this doesn't look very good, it's just for 1 frame, and most likely the people watching it are gonna think it looks better. So I like how this turned out. So guys, that is how you're gonna add a muzzle flash in a darker environment. And obviously, if you wanted to add sound design to this, I would recommend going into Premiere and then adding the sound there. It's kind of difficult to add sound effects within After Effects, but that is the gist of the tutorial. I hope this helped and helps you get through whatever project you might be working on right now. And I'm planning to start a series on my YouTube channel where I start editing short, quick, condensed tutorials on special effects similar to the muzzle flashes and really kind of any effects that I might have had trouble with. And the issue is that I try to look up tutorials and I can only find these long videos when in reality they could really be like a lot shorter. So that's the goal of the series, and if you guys want to see more of that, definitely be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.